So Lobo Volleyball returns to the road this week for matchups at Fresno State Thursday, San Jose State Saturday. Their only matchup with both teams this season. They got their first conference win last week on Saturday with a hard-fought 4-set win over Grand Canyon. Camila Canedu is the Defensive Player of the Week in the Mountain West after leading the conference with over 5 digs a set. So they're looking to keep momentum rolling on the road. So John will start, opening statement, and then open up to everyone.
Awesome. Thanks again, guys, for being here. We're entering Mountain West Conference week number 5, and the team is playing as well as I would have hoped, as well as I would have expected. We've continued to get a little bit better in some of the areas that we knew we needed to address each week. Last week we had 2 great matches. Absolutely awesome match with UNLV. Came up just short, 20-18 in the 5th set after having a pretty nice lead. But it just goes to show this is volleyball, and as we talk to the team, this is also life, right? You just feel like things are rolling. You kind of get punched in the mouth, and you got to make a new plan. And so the plan was to come back and get after it on Saturday with Grand Canyon after a pretty tough loss at UNLV, where we played some of the best volleyball of the season, I thought, at times. Got back up here on Friday afternoon and had a great training. We were pretty brief, and we had a great film session. And I felt like the team just had a different vibe about them, about coming into that Saturday match. And we dropped a close one in the first, and I thought just fought our tails off in 2 and 3 and winning by 11, 12 points in each of those 2 sets, and then had a nice lead in the 4th. And again, that's volleyball, that's life. They came storming back at us, and we finished out a great 4-set match with Grand Canyon, who's a top 75 team in the country, who's beaten some really good top 50 teams. And so it was I think a really great let's just use the word like forging by fire, like, hey, we had to get in there. We had to go play a good team. We had to beat a good team for us to feel like, hey, we can go do this at a high level for the remainder of whatever is left of these 5 weeks that we get. And so that's promise time. And of course, we want to play volleyball in Las Vegas. And you never know. There's a lot that can happen in the next 5 weeks. We want to be one of those top 6 teams. And there's a lot still to play for. There's a lot of opportunities within that to do that. So fired up for this week. We've got 2 great road tests. Fresno is always no joke at their place. They're a tough team to beat, and then San Jose, who got a little bit hot this last 2 weeks. So two good tests on the road, and we're excited to go out and get after them.
27 kills from Sununli Brewer on Thursday. Obviously a tough 5-set loss, but that's something that we haven't seen from her before. What does that say about her being your 3rd attacker and obviously only a sophomore?
Yeah, she finished out with 30 points overall, and we hadn't seen that from anybody this season with 30 points in a match, and it was an incredible breakout moment for her. I thought she's been just training at a really nice level the last stretch of maybe the last month or so, and it was her time. It was her time. Her number got called, and she was ready to play. To come up with that many kills was just huge. And so we're fired up to see where that continues to go for her. Had a great meeting with her yesterday to talk about it and talk about how does she want to continue to grow and keep evolving her game. When you have this much time still left on the clock, we know that we can all still get just a little bit better each week. And that'll help change the tide of where we want to go at the end of November.
You kind of touched on it in your opening statement, but just getting that first conference win, what do you feel like that kind of does for you the rest of the season? How much of a spark did that really like?
Yeah, I think, it's been great. We just, as far as yesterday, we have our weekly meetings with each athlete, and there was great energy. There was a great vibe around the team. And I think that was happening whether we'd had a tough stretch there, and they still were coming in focused. They were still coming in ready to get to work. And it just maybe just added like a freshness to it. Like, hey, we can take that out of our bag now. Hey, we hadn't won a match yet. We can take that out of our bag. We've done it. And now it's time to go do it more. And so I'm excited for the training today. We gave them the afternoon off yesterday just to enjoy the day. And hey, let's get back to work and go hard. Tuesday, tomorrow afternoon, we've got a great practice planned at Fresno, and then Thursday at Fresno, Friday travel day down to San Jose, and then getting after San Jose on Saturday. So we're excited for the week, and I know the players are just hungry to get after it.
I know you mentioned how much you liked, the game preparation on Friday of last week, but was there anything once the match started where you're like, hey, this is really clicking, this is different than we've seen the last few weeks?
I think the number one thing for us was our service pressure. I mean, I think we had 11 aces in that match, and it was just when you have that type of serving going on, it's really hard you're kind of holding teams underwater at that point. And so that's something we want to keep pushing on today. Actually in an hour, you can come up to Johnson Center and watch us. We're going to be spending a lot of time focusing on continuing that same level of service pressure. It's just really hard for teams to stay in systems, hard for them to get a rhythm offensively. And we've got some great servers that are going back there and being really aggressive. And so I think that was a little bit different with the Grand Canyon match just from the start. We saw some people really going for it from the end line and being aggressive. And that's what you got to do against good teams that you want to slow down their offense.
Also over 10 assists a set from Madeline Miller. And the pattern is when Madeline is really producing a lot of assists, things are going better for you guys. What does she bring when everything's getting in system and she's really on her A game?
Yeah, it's, for Madeline, it's really about her distribution. It's when she's getting a lot of different hitters involved in different situations, and we know that we've got some good guns, on the left side, but the reality is we've got a great right side attack, we've got some middle attack, and we need to keep that distribution high. And when she does that, we can absolutely just kind of get going offensively and get into a good rhythm. And I think for Madeline, that's a good show for her to say, hey, this is what happens when you do these things, and that's what we talked to her about in film yesterday. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. See you soon, man.